All right, so a huge question for aspiring and beginning photographers is, how do I become a better photographer? What are the things that I can do or focus on to get to where I want to be as a photographer, to get to a place where I'm either doing the photography that I just love to do for myself, or the photography that I really want to do in order to make money and build a career out of this and work for clients? How do I get from where I'm at right now to becoming just a better photographer? And I think it comes down to 3 roadblocks that typically inhibit us as creators and as photographers. 3 roadblocks that you are probably already experiencing or will experience sometime in the near future. All right, let's talk about the roadblocks and just pushing through those. The first one is purely repetition, getting the amount of reps in. And the problem with repetition is not always taking my camera with me everywhere that I went. That was a problem that I experienced. I think it was the fear of not knowing what I should take photos of, the fear of not feeling adequate, the fear or this imposter syndrome of like, I don't feel like I'm really a photographer yet. So therefore taking my camera with me, I'm going to get questions. And it was just kind of this fear of like, I don't feel like I'm a photographer yet. So I would just go ahead and push through that fear and go ahead and embrace that, like, this is your dream. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to be. Don't feel like an imposter. Yes, you're not where you want to be yet with your photography, but you're working on it. You're getting there. You are a photographer. If you're picking up a camera and you have a desire to take photos, you're a photographer, and you need to embrace that and start putting in the reps. The thing that also hurt me with reps was thinking that I needed more pieces of gear. And that comes into the second roadblock. It's not so much like gear is a bad thing. Like you need specific pieces of gear for different jobs and different projects you're working on. So gear is not a bad thing. It's just the limiting belief that gear is going to make you better. That's the problem. Gear doesn't make you better. The gear itself is just a tool. You are the person who has to utilize and make that tool work for yourself. So if you don't know how to use the tools appropriately, then it doesn't matter which tools that you have. So the limiting belief for me early on was really around lenses. Like if I had a 50 mil, if I had an 85, if I had these specific lenses, then I would be a better photographer. I would get better bokeh. I would get, this or that. And that's just not the truth. The truth is that gear is not going to do that for you. You need to be able to learn how to work with the gear that you already have. And then once you learn how to do that, then you can make the appropriate decisions of what's the next pieces of gear that you need that can really level yourself up. So don't give in to the limiting belief that gear is what's holding you back, because that's not true. And then the third one is a major one as well, which is the roadblock of finances. We all know that photography gear, camera gear is expensive. We're talking thousands of dollars. You can spend $2,000, $3,000 just on a camera body and you don't even have a lens. So the limiting factor there is just purely not having enough money in the very beginning to be able to purchase this gear. So to kind of push through those roadblocks, I want to introduce a camera that I think helps move through that. And this isn't the only camera that you can pick up, a Fujifilm X100f. This is one I've been using over the last 6 months. That's just really been inspiring to me. And the more and more I use it, the more I think about beginner photographers. And again, you don't have to pick up this exact one, the X100f, there's an X100v. There are other equivalents with other brands. I just think that this is a really fun one and a really nice one. And a really, honestly, one that creates just beautiful photos. And the reason why I like this camera and why I think it helps us push through all 3 of those roadblocks is the size of this camera is going to give you no excuse to take it out and get the reps in. Again, if you have a bigger, bulky camera and bulky lenses, it's a matter of trying to figure out where that's going to fit when you go out in your daily life. And this right here can literally, I've put this in my back pocket before. It can go in any bag. It can go anywhere. You can sling it around you and it's not heavy. There's no excuses. And when there's no excuses, you go and you get the reps in. And when you get the reps in, you become a better photographer because you learn how to shoot. When you process through your photos, you look and see what you did well and what you didn't do well. And then you go back out the next day, or you go back out in a few hours and you work on that and become better. What's also incredible about this camera is that it has a fixed 35mm lens. You don't get an option for other lenses that you can take with you. So again, you're busting through that roadblock of what gear do I need? Do I need to take my 85? Do I need to take my 24-70? What's going to be the best? No, you purely have a 35mm lens on here, and that doesn't limit you. So that is amazing. You literally can just go to the shelf, pick up this camera, and you're ready to roll, and you don't have to think about all these other things. And we all know we get paralysis by analysis, especially when we're an amateur. And if you're having to think too much about lenses and the gear that you're taking with you, you're probably not going to take you with you anyways, and you're not going to get where you want to go. And then this pushes through the financial burden as well, because you can pick up this camera about $800, $900 used out there. The X100V, which is a little bit step up from this, I think is about $1,200. So this breaks through the financial burden because there's not as much financial burden with a camera like this. There's no excuses. You just grab it, you go, see what you can capture, get excited about capturing, see what you do well, see what you don't do well, and work on that and keep going. The more I've used this, the more I wish I had picked up a camera like this in the very beginning. I wish this existed. I think there were versions of this that existed. I wish I had this when I was a beginner, because I think I would have accelerated my career quicker had I picked up something like this and not worried about the multitude of lenses, the multitude of camera systems that are out there, and limited myself financially, limited myself from taking it with me and getting the reps in, limited myself in terms of gear. So yeah, I really challenge you. If you're an aspiring beginner photographer, wherever you are in your journey, pick up a camera like this, because it will inspire you, it will encourage you, and it will allow you to get out there and get the reps in. And ultimately, that is the most important part, is staying consistent throughout the beginning and the entirety of your career and your journey. So I hope that encourages you, and I hope that leads you on a path that serves you well. And yeah, that you go out there and have fun taking photos, and have fun building your career in photography, and have fun getting where you want to go in life where that's concerned. So if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more of this kind of content, hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you guys more around more often. And if you have some interesting thoughts, comments, drop those below, and I will be in the comment section with you as well. So, all right, see you all on the next one.